Great show for you. And we're going to start today's show with some very impressive young people. It seems like in this divided times in our country, it's never been more important to use your voice and be heard. But it's even better when you speak your mind and well-spoken in a professional way, which is what the Chowchilla Wilson Middle School speech and debate team does, even winning some national titles for it. Here to explain is debate head coach Bill Turner, along with Wilson Middle School speech team members Daniele Santillan and Samantha Easton. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Wow. So Bill, tell us a background about this awesome program that you helped start at Wilson Middle School.
Well, 2 years ago when we began the program, I knocked on the principal's door and kept knocking, saying, I have some really great kids that I think could do incredible things if we give them the opportunity to find their voice. And so we started off small, going to some local competitions, county pentathlons, local Rotary clubs, things like that. And as the kids continued to do better and better, we felt, let's go out and see what they can really do. So we took the kids to the Bay Area, we took the kids to Los Angeles to really see what they were doing, and they were winning competition after competition, surprising everybody, and competing mostly against private schools with seemingly unlimited budgets.
Right.
And we seemingly came out of nowhere for a lot of these schools. So we took the kids to the national championships in Alabama this year just to see what they could do. And we had some spectacular results from these two great young ladies.
Oh my goodness, I hear. So Daniele, you are the national champion?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, so what does that mean? You won for impromptu speaking?
Yes.
So take us there.
Oh, no, I did not. Sorry.
Which one did you win for?
Informative.
Informative. Okay, well, first of all, tell us the difference between informative and impromptu. What's the difference?
Well, impromptu speaking is a limited preparation event, and it's when you have 2 minutes to prepare a 5-minute speech on a topic that judges give you. And informative is kind of like an essay.
Right.
It's just to inform rather than to persuade.
Whoa. So you're the best informative speaker in the nation.
I don't think so.
I wish you were in D.C. right now, but we're glad that you're here. Okay, so what did that feel like when they called your name, and what topic did you win on?
I won with the topic of the high price of chocolate, about slavery on the Ivory Coast and in the cocoa industry. And the feeling was indescribable.
Oh, I bet. And you brought your award with us today?
Yes.
Wow, that is so cool. And then Samantha, you also had a great finish. Tell us about your experience.
It was really amazing. I had to go through many different rounds against a bunch of different people, and I had the experience to really know what it was like to go against others and to really, be that kind of sportsman, be that sportsman that you always have a good attitude, but you're in the competition with them as well.
Right.
So you want to win, but it was really awesome to be able to go to this competition so far away and still come out with a title.
Alabama, that is far. And you were the semifinalist in impromptu speaking.
Yes.
Wow. So how'd that feel when you got your plaque?
It was awesome because all year that's what I had dreamt of going to nationals and winning a plaque and having that moment on stage to get that, and I finally did, which is really cool.
Well, we love it that you're hometown girls, and that is just so amazing, making a name on the national stage. And Bill, why do you think it's important for parents to get their kids involved in debate and speech teams?
Public speaking, I think, is a timeless art. It's the one thing that they'll never be able to build an app for, to replace. It's timeless. With technology coming out and more skills kids are being able to do on the computer, I think public speaking, the ability to sell yourself, to communicate, to be able to persuade is something very important. So I would encourage everybody to get their kids involved in public speaking because it's something that you can't replace. It's just their ability to present themselves, as you're seeing right now, it's remarkable. Especially for me, it's really special seeing how far they've come in 2 years.
I bet, because how old are you ladies?
I'm 14.
I'm 13 years old.
No way! And they're so professional, and you would swear they were graduating high school, but you guys are just entering high school next year.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, that's incredible. So people have said that you're a lot like the McFarland team, but you think your team is something else. What do you think?
For me, the movie analogy, if I was going to use one, would be Moneyball. A lot of these teams have seemingly unlimited budgets. They have a bus. They have everything you could ask for. They get to take their teams to the best dinners and all that. 30, 40 kids, some of these schools just field armies.
That you compete with.
That we compete against, yeah. And we have a team of 9 kids. By the time we went to nationals, it was down to 4 kids that had qualified. So when I look at it is how do we stay competitive, making do with much less. We can't go to all the tournaments every weekend that a lot of these other schools do. So we have to find a way to keep the kids sharp, keep them engaged, keep them game ready without going to all the competitions that all the other schools are going to. And so that is a real challenge for us, finding the right kids. I believe that you can find talent in any home. You can find talent in the wealthiest homes. You can find talent in any home. And so I don't think kids should be denied the opportunity to compete because the school doesn't have the money. We go and we fundraise in our community. In Chowchilla, we have an extraordinarily generous community. We go to the Rotary Club, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the VFW Auxiliary, Lions, Lioness, and they just write donation after donation to try to help our kids. So it's nice if you're a school that can just bankroll anything you want. On another side, it's nice if you have a supportive community. And so these girls accomplished what they accomplished because the community was so supportive.
Oh, that's a big shout out to Chowchilla for sure. So before we go, girls, what's your number one advice for people out there in public speaking and debating? What would you say?
I would say that it's an empowering thing to be a public speaker. You really get to use your voice, and you don't have to let anybody tell you what you want to be or who you have to be.
Yeah. And what would you say, Samantha?
What I would say is that be brave and do anything you want to do, because when I was a 7th grader at the beginning of the year, I didn't think I would be where I am today, but now I am. So with that courage and that braveness, I'm here.
Yes, you are. You guys are so well spoken. We're so proud of you, making a name on the national stage from Chowchilla Middle School, and now you're going to go from Wilson Middle School to Chowchilla High School.
Yeah, the students were moving up to Chowchilla High School, and of course, as a teacher, that's always hard when you have a group of kids that are so special to you, and then they move on. And in middle school, that's kind of the nature after 2 years. It's hello and goodbye sometimes. But the opportunity came up to teach and start a program at Chowchilla High School, and so after a lot of consideration, it seemed like it would be a great idea to keep the band together.
Good. Well, we will be following your journey, and thanks so much for sharing your time and your treasures with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for having
much.